The day started like every other, your heels clicking against the marble floors of John Corporation's towering building. The receptionist greeted you warmly, but even her smile couldn't hide the nervous knot in your chest. Today you were supposed to meet your soon-to-be husband, John Jungkook. Yet, despite the ring on your finger and the family's blessings, you felt more like a stranger than a fiancé. You inhaled deeply before pushing open the heavy office doors. Jungkook was seated behind his desk, tall glass windows framing him like a painting of power and distance. His pen stilled for a second when he noticed you, but his expression remained unreadable. Why are you here? His tone was clipped, professional, as though you were just another business meeting. Your throat went dry, but you forced a smile. I thought maybe we could have lunch together. It's been days since we have spoken properly. Before he could answer, the door opened. Selvi walked in, her arms full of files, her expression bright and confident. Good morning, miss. She greeted you politely with a small nod before turning to Jungkook. Sir, the finalized contracts are here. I cross checked the numbers twice and the reports are cleaner now. Jungkook gestured for her to place them on the desk. He flipped through the first few pages, his eyes scanning carefully. Efficient as always. You are the only one I can count on to handle this without errors. Selvi's lips curved into a shy smile. Well, I have learned to keep up with you. It's not easy meeting your standards. A faint smirk tugged at his lips, and yet you manage it better than anyone else here. You shifted uncomfortably in your seat across from him, your words from earlier hanging in the air unanswered. Neither of them seemed to notice. Selvi leaned slightly forward, tapping one of the papers. Also, I made a note about the presentation slides for tomorrow's board meeting. If you want, I can stay late to make sure everything runs smoothly. You always think ahead, Jungkook replied evenly. That's what makes you the best. Selvi ducked her head, cheeks warming at the compliment. Thank you, sir. That means a lot. You sat frozen, watching them talk back and forth as though you weren't even in the room. Their easy rhythm, his rare smirk, the praise rolling off his tongue so easily, it all pressed against your chest like a stone. You cleared your throat softly, but neither of them looked at you. Instead, Selvi continued, I also updated the project timeline. If you approve it, we'll be ahead of schedule for once. Good. Jungkook said, turning another page. That's why I trust you with these things. Others waste time. You don't. Selvi's smile widened at his words, and that was it. The crack that split you in two, the warmth you craved was given so freely to her, while you sat there invisible, his fiancée ignored. I'll leave you to do your work, you murmured, your voice low and trembling despite your efforts to keep steady. This time they both looked up. Selvi blinked as if suddenly realizing your presence again. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt something? She said politely. But Jungkook only gave you a fleeting glance, his face unreadable. No, nothing important. The words cut deeper than you could peer. You forced a small nod and walked out, your heels clicking against the marble floor, each step echoing like a reminder of the wall between you. The moment the office door shut behind you, the weight in your chest became unbearable. Your heels struck the marble floor rhythmically, but your steps were unsteady, each one heavier than the last. People passed by, bowing politely, smiling as if nothing was wrong, but inside you, something had cracked so deeply. You replayed the scene over and over in your mind, Jungkook's voice, calm, approving, even gentle, when he spoke to Selvi. His smirk, rare and precious, one you had longed for but hadn't seen in weeks. The easy rhythm between them, the familiarity, and you sitting there invisible, a stranger in your own fiance's office. Your throat burned and you bit the inside of your cheek to keep the tears at bay, but it was no use. The pain clawed its way out anyway. How could he? Not the compliment, not the smile. Those were harmless things in themselves. But the way he gave them so effortlessly to her while you sat there, desperate for a single scarp of his attention, it shattered something in you. For you, he had nothing but silence, cold eyes, indifference. For her, he had warmth, acknowledgement, praise, and that was what hurt the most. You wrapped your arms around yourself as you stepped outside into the harsh daylight. The air felt heavier, pressing down on your chest until breathing itself was a struggle. You wanted to scream at him, ask him why, demand to know what you had done wrong to deserve being treated like a shadow, like you didn't even exist. But all you had managed to say was, I'll leave you to your work. A pitiful retreat. Your vision blurred as tears finally spilled, hot and silent, streaking down your cheeks. You brushed them away quickly, not wanting anyone outside to see you broken like this. This was supposed to be love, an engagement, a promise of a future together, yet standing outside his company, you felt nothing but loneliness. As though you were marrying a ghost of the man you once knew. He was treating you for a mistake happened in the past. Your heart whispered questions you weren't brave enough to voice. Did he even want this marriage? Did he regret it every day, the same way his coldness made you regret walking into his world? Was he punishing you for what? For the mistake from years ago you thought was buried but maybe never forgiven. The ache inside you deepened, and for the first time you wondered if perhaps you weren't just invisible to him, maybe you were unwanted too. The door clicked shut behind you, and Jungkook's eyes lingered on the space you had just stood in. For a moment, he didn't move. His pen rested idly between his fingers, his jaw tight, his gaze fixed on the glass wall where your reflection had disappeared. Your face, that flicker of hurt in your eyes, it had sliced through him sharper than any knife. He leaned back in his chair, closing the file Selvi had just delivered. She excused herself quietly, sensing his silence wasn't meant for conversation, and left the office. The quiet settled heavily around him. He should have stopped you, should have told you that the compliment had meant nothing, that Selvi was only an employee he respected for her efficiency. He should have told you that no one, not a secretary, not anyone could stand where you stood in his heart. But he didn't, because some part of him wanted you to feel that sting, because some part of him still couldn't forgive you. Memories clawed back, uninvited and relentless. Years ago, when he had first loved you, it had been with the raw intensity of someone who had never known love before. You were his first everything, his first smile in the morning, his first ache at night, his first promise of forever. He had given you all of him without hesitation. And yet, you hadn't believed him. One moment, one mistake had shattered it all. You had doubted his words when he needed your faith the most. You had walked away when he had fought to hold on. That betrayal had left a wound so deep. He had vowed never to love again, never to give anyone the power to destroy him like that. And for years he kept that vow. Women came and went, none leaving a mark. His heart was a locked fortress. Its gates rusted shut, work consumed him, power shielded him, loneliness became his only companion until you came back. It was a family gathering. The moment his eyes had landed on you after years apart, he had felt the earth shifted beneath him. You were older, perhaps wiser, yet still achingly familiar. For a fleeting second, he wanted to forget the past and run to you, to hold you, to tell you that his heart had always belonged to you. But then, just as quickly, the memories of betrayal resurfaced, and he remembered the pain when the elders proposed the engagement. He could have said no, he could have refused outright, but he didn't. He watched you, searching your expression as the announcement was made, and when you didn't protest, neither did he. Why? Because despite the hate he pretended to carry, despite the walls he built around his heart, there was still a truth he could never erase. You were his first love, and no one had ever come after. Perhaps it was pride, perhaps it was punishment, perhaps it was the tiniest, most fragile hope that fate had brought you back for a reason. So he let it happen. But he couldn't let go of the bitterness. He couldn't forgive you easily, not yet. And so, every time he looked at you, every time you smiled at him with that hope in your eyes, he reminded himself of the past. He reminded himself not to trust too quickly. Still, the image of your face just moments ago, eyes glassy with hurt as you walked out of the office, gnawed at him in a way he hated to admit. He rubbed a hand across his jaw, sighing deeply. Why do you still have this effect on me? He muttered under his breath, though no one was there to hear. Because no matter how much he wanted to deny it, one truth haunted him. You were his only love, the first, the last, and maybe, just maybe, the only one who could break him all over again. The clinking of cutlery and the hum of conversation filled the John dining room. The long table was set perfectly, laughter and small talk weaving between the elders, but you hardly tasted a bite of the food on your plate. Across from you, Jungkook sat tall, answering his parents' questions smoothly, offering polite smiles where needed. To anyone watching, he looked like the perfect host, the perfect son, the perfect fiancé. But you knew better. Not once did his gaze meet yours, not once did he ask if you wanted more food or if you were comfortable. He played the part of them, not for you. Such a beautiful couple, one of the aunts commented, clasping her hands together. I'm so glad fate brought you two together again. Your lips curved into a faint smile, but it felt brittle. Beside you, Jungkook merely inclined his head, his expression unreadable. Dinner stretched on painfully, every second heavy with the weight of unsaid words. When the elders finally retreated to the living room for tea, you found yourself alone at the dining table with him. You set your fork down, heart hammering. This was your chance. Why do you do this? Your voice was quiet but sharp, cutting through the silence. Jungkook finally looked at you, his dark eyes cool and steady. Do what? You let out a shaky laugh, disbelief bubbling in your chest. Pretend, in front of them, you are the perfect fiancé, but with me, you act like I don't even exist. Do you have any idea what it feels like to sit there, invisible, while you... Your voice faltered, the memory of his office earlier tightened your throat. While you shower someone else with compliments. His jaw tightened, but he said nothing. You pressed on, the words tumbling out. Why, Jungkook? Why agree to this engagement if you hate me so much? If every word out of your mouth is meant to remind me that I'm nothing to you? His silence felt like a slap, his expression unreadable, but his eyes flickered with something darker, something pained. Finally he spoke, his tone low. Because this is what you wanted. You stood there at the gathering. You didn't refuse. You didn't say no. So tell me, why should I have been the one to object? Your breath caught, so you are punishing me for something I did years ago. His gaze hardened. You think I can just forget betrayal that easily? The word betrayal hit you like a thunderbolt. Your chest ached. Jungkook, you whispered, your voice breaking. I didn't betray you, I... But he stood abruptly, his chair scraping against the marble floor. Yes, you just blindly trusted him because he was more important than the truth. Save your excuses, not tonight. And with that he walked away, leaving you sitting alone at the long dining table, your heart breaking all over again. Back then, John Jungkook was the boy everyone feared, a rebel, a fighter, the kind who carried storms in his eyes and fists ready to defend his pride. But to you he was different. You saw through the rumors, the whispers of troublemaker that followed him like a shadow. To you Jungkook was warmth, safety, and the boy who made you feel like you were the only one in his world. You were his first love, his only one, but then came that night, the night everything shattered. There had been a fight in the campus courtyard, Jungkook against another boy. Bruises, blood, chaos, everyone gathered, whispering, judging. And that boy, the one Jungkook had laid his fist on, wasn't just anyone, he was your best friend. The blame fell on Jungkook instantly, the bad boy, the violent one. Professors, the dean, students, everyone pointed fingers. He was suspended, his scholarship was threatened, and then came the final blow. You. You didn't stand by him, you stood by your best friend's side. You didn't mean to betray him. You thought you were doing the right thing. The boy you had known for years had tears in his eyes, a swollen cheek, and swore Jungkook had attacked him without reason. And you, blinded by friendship, by fear, by the weight of everyone's voices, believed him. The look on Jungkook's face when you stood there, silent, not defending him, burned itself into your soul forever. Hurt, disbelief, and then the coldest emptiness you had ever seen in his eyes. He didn't say a word, not to you, not to anyone. He just walked away, blooded knuckles and shattered trust. Later, the truth came out. Your best friend had provoked him, lied, twisted everything. Jungkook had only defended himself. By then, it was too late. Jungkook was already gone. You ended your friendship with that boy, but in doing so, you realized something far worse. You had also lost Jungkook. His parents insisted that Jungkook would leave you to your apartment. Of course, he didn't deny. He was the perfect son and fiancé. But the whole ride spent in awkward silence until you broke it. Why do you let her behave that way with you? Do you enjoy making me look like a fool? Jungkook's eyes turned sharp. She's just an employee, and they get praised when they work hard. If you are insecure, that's your problem. Insecure? You laughed bitterly. No, Jungkook, I'm heartbroken because I thought even if you didn't love me yet, you would at least respect me. He kept his eyes on the road, stone-faced. Respect is earned, don't you think? The words pierced deeper than any knife. He wasn't just being cold, he was punishing you. Your throat tightened. You'll never forgive me for the past, will you? His jaw clenched, but he said nothing. His silence was louder than any confession. If there's hate and nothing, why keep me tied in this engagement if you can't let go of the past? He stared at you, voice low, because I wanted you to feel what I felt back then, the pain of being unwanted, the sting of being doubted. Your lips trembled. So you are letting Selvi's games play out just to hurt me? His eyes flickered, betraying the truth. He hadn't been flirting. He had simply allowed you to believe it. You think I don't see through her? He finally muttered, she's nothing to me but you. His voice cracked, softer now. You had the power to destroy me once. I wanted you to know how it feels. The revelation crushed you and freed you at once. Jungkook, you whispered, tears welling. I was young, stupid, blinded by what others said. I hurt you, yes, but don't you see? I have been here all along, trying to prove myself to you. Every time you shut me out, every time you praise her, it felt like you were tearing me apart. He looked away, struggling. I didn't want to forgive you too easily. Forgiveness means letting you in again, and letting you in terrifies me. You hesitantly placed your trembling hand over his. Then let me be the one who stays. Let me fight for this. For you. Don't punish me with ghosts of the past when I'm here, right now, only for you. His walls cracked, his lips trembled, and for the first time, John Jungkook let his pain show as he stopped the car and pulled you into his arms. The car sat in silence, parked at the edge of the quiet street, only the soft hum of the engine filling the space between you. His embrace was strong but trembling, his heartbeat hammering against your chest as if he had been holding it back for years. Your arms slowly circled around him, your face buried in the crook of his neck. Tears slipped down your cheeks, soaking into his shirt. You whispered, voice quivering, I'm sorry, Jungkook. I'm so sorry. I should have trusted you. I should have stood by you, no matter what. I've hated myself every day for not doing it. If I could go back, I would choose you 1,000 times over. His hand tightened on your waist, almost desperate, as if he feared you would vanish if he let go. His lips brushed your temple, and his words came out ragged, breaking the silence. Do you even know what you did to me? You were my first love, my only love. When you left me standing there, when you chose him instead, I swear, I would never let anyone touch my heart again, and I didn't. You pulled back just enough to see his face. His eyes glistened, raw and bare, no longer shielded by cold indifference. Years passed, but I couldn't move on. I couldn't even try, because it was still you. It's always been you. Even when I hated you, I loved you. Your breath caught, the truth hitting you like a tidal wave. All this time, through his coldness, his silence, his walls, it had always been love. You cupped his face with trembling hands, your thumbs brushing away the tears at the corners of his eyes. Then let's stop running from it, Jungkook. Don't fight me anymore. Let me spend every day proving that I'm not the girl who left you. I'm the woman who will never let go of again. His lips parted, a shaky breath leaving him as though he had been waiting years to hear those words. And then, with no hesitation left, he pulled you into a kiss, deep, trembling, filled with years of heartbreak. It wasn't gentle, it wasn't perfect, it was desperate, messy, real, but it was yours. When he finally broke away, his forehead rested against yours, his voice a broken whisper. Marry me, not because of our families. Marry me because even after everything, you're still the one I want. And when you whispered yes, when his arms wrapped around you, the past finally loosened its grip. The pain didn't vanish, but together you began rewriting a love that had once been broken, a love stronger than betrayal, stronger than pride, unbreakable.